Hello and welcome to another My NT marriage video. Micro battles. I made a previous video about picking your battles. Like, don't pick all the battles or else you'd just constantly be fighting. But I wanted to talk about all the micro battles that we have, and by battles I don't mean that they're picked. Sometimes they're just happening around us and nobody is saying anything. However, we tend to have an exorbitant amount of these little mini micro battles that do or don't happen. And I would be really curious to know if this is just a very typical relationship thing and maybe not something you just have with people on the spectrum. If all couples go through this sort of thing, I'd be curious to know. So let me sort of give you a rundown of the type of things that I mean. Simple things like washing powder. We don't agree what brand to buy. He likes one brand, I like another. Washing liquid. Leaving the gloves on the sink. I like to leave the gloves on the dish rack so that I can just grab them and wash them. He wants everything put away. The garage door being locked. I like it locked at night time. He only ever locks it when I'm out and need it open to get back in. Curtains and blinds. It's a really sort of, I don't know, like they're so trivial, you know, but our whole world is this, where he'll open blinds a specific way and I'll go and then change how he's opened them. Mainly because, for example, I don't like the blinds being open and the lights on. I like the blinds to be closed before the lights are turned on. I like my privacy, and he likes to just have everything open. Everybody can see in, lights are on, he doesn't care. The aircon, we cannot agree on a temperature. The heater, we cannot agree on a temperature. What else is there? The pups. We've got new puppies and he is just breaking all of the rules. I don't want them inside on the carpet and he just keeps bringing them inside and putting them on the carpet. And the other day, well, he's Asian, okay, so let's take it back a bit. He has this no shoes inside policy and I've just gone with that, right? I don't exactly like it. It kind of annoys me. I would rather live in a house with floorboards, no carpet, and just have all shoes on inside however much I like and just vacuum and mop. But he wants no shoes inside. And so the other day I deliberately walked inside with my shoes on. And he was really cranky about that. Take your shoes off, take your shoes off. 2 seconds later he's letting the pups run inside with their muddy, dirty feet. And I'm like, what difference does it make? Like, why are the pups allowed inside with their muddy, dirty feet? You don't keep them off the carpeted areas like I want, but I have to not wear my shoes inside like you want. So I just did it and grinned, you know. I didn't say anything to him. I just wore them inside and was like, you know, what are you going to do about it? And now that's not a battle I normally pick, but because of the dog situation, I'm feeling really frustrated and impatient. And just in the mood for breaking his rules because he's breaking mine. So what else is there? The alfresco. We purchased this house with this nice little alfresco area so we could sort of do partying outside, inside, outside, you know, that whole concept. No. No chance. He cannot stand the doors being left open. You know, you're supposed to slide it all so it's all, so it's all, you know, open and you walk in and out. No. If I've got a handful of food, tray in this hand, tray in that hand, and I walk outside to put them on the table, he wants me to close the doors on my way out. So I've got the food, I've opened the door somehow, I walk out, I'm supposed to close the doors and then put them on the table and then come back in to grab more stuff. To me, it's impractical. Just let me leave the doors open at least while I carry stuff out. But he loses his mind. He can't stand it. He has this kind of phobia about flies inside. And I sort of think, don't worry about it. We just kill the flies if they come inside, or swat them, or do something, you know. So that's another thing we don't agree on. What else is there? lights. He will do things like leave a light on in his room, leave YouTube on, paused, and go off and do things and then come back. But if I have the lights on in the kitchen and I leave to go to the toilet, I'll come back and they're off because I'm wasting electricity. And I'm like, okay. It's very hypocritical as well, which is also very testy. Food wastage, this one drives me nuts. He'll do things like buy 3 avocados and we only need 1, and then the others are left there and I've got to sort of deal with them and figure out some creative thing to do with the food. And the fridge is this set up in this way where if anything touches the back of the fridge, it gets instantly frozen. And then when it defrosts, say a cucumber, it's all soggy because cucumbers are not meant to be frozen. And so I'll be constantly saying to people, don't push the food back to the end of the fridge. And I'll go there and they're there. It doesn't matter how many times I say it, they're there. So we have this kind of micro battles in that sense that he wants things one way, I want things another way, and we just don't agree on much. A lot of it is just swept under the carpet and me just kind of burying my head like an ostrich and pretending things aren't happening. And I don't really know how he feels about them because he doesn't really talk about it much. But yeah, it's almost like 90% of our life is these little tiny micro battles where we just don't agree on much of anything. And some of it's really important, like how to raise children and how to discipline the dogs. And even if I go there with the dogs, okay, we had a dog that I purchased for him because he'd always wanted this particular dog. I purchased him this dog for like his birthday or Christmas years ago. And my dad is a dog trainer. He's not a professional dog trainer, but he's a dog trainer. He is exceptionally good at getting dogs to behave and do exactly what he wants. And he taught me. So we get this dog and I'm trying to train it. And of course, hubby's breaking all the rules because he doesn't abide by any of the rules that I've decided. And then he says, oh, the puppy's really badly behaved, we need to put it in doggy school. And I'm like, we don't. We could save ourselves some money and you just do what I want, or do what I say, because what I'm saying is working. Anyway, he puts the dog in puppy school. And they're telling him the same things that I've been telling him. And he's coming home and going, oh, look, they said that, what you're doing is, what should be done. And I'm like, you don't say. Really? Okay. Anyway, so eventually we don't put the dog in puppy school because I knew how to train the dog. But we did get to a point where he was breaking so many of the rules that this dog was starting to sort of growl at me and see me as like the lower dog because this dog was alpha dog. And I was like, yeah, no, this isn't happening. So eventually we sort of got on the same page with that dog, and she was beautiful, very well trained, and he kind of did, what I wanted, sort of thing. But now we've got 2 puppies and he's breaking all the rules again. So it's in one ear and out how's your mother, as my brother says. So yeah, just this constant sort of life battles that we keep facing together, and most of it's swept under the carpet, some of it's aired, and we just kind of go through life not really agreeing on much. So I don't know, as I said, is this an Aspie thing? Is this a normal relationship thing? Do all relationships work this way, where everything is a compromise, or in our case, it's just me giving in because there's just too much to battle? I don't know. But anyway, leave a comment below if you can relate. Micro battles, do you have them? How do you deal with them? Love to hear from you. And thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I really do appreciate it.